Whoa, 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 pull that back up. Yeah, what the hell is this? Yes, there's something wrong. I mean, first of all, my last name is not YouTube. Actually, more importantly, I don't have anywhere near the skills required to be a professional in that field. Actually, scratch it again. I'm not a racist. Oh, we're talking about Pluto? Yeah, I was a racist. Whoa, don't boo me yet. Actually, let me explain first. No. Let's do a little test. Would you cry over the toaster you saw in the opening? Yeah, that's what I thought. You racist. But if you don't understand why I'm asking, let me make you understand by showing you Pluto.
The year of the 39th Central Asian War in Persia, a war fought both by man and robots, continuing with mass casualties among both parties, but through the creation of 7 of humanity's greatest robots, the Persian Empire was defeated and their kingdom destroyed. But for now, that's not important, because the years and everyone has moved on towards creating a new life, whether they be human or robot. Of the 7 great robots, Brando begins fighting in robot tournaments. Epsilon starts an orphanage, helping kids who lost their homes in the war. North No. 2 finds a new interest in composing music. Mont Blanc moves on to creating forests, spreading peace and... Excuse me. Hello? Yeah, I'm talking about him now. Mont Blanc's what? Mont Blanc, one of the 7 great robots, is found dead in the middle of a burning forest. At the site, firefighters arrive along with police. Mont Blanc's creator begins to grieve his death, and the Europol sends in an agent to inspect the site. Meet Geist. Geist is a Europol detective who works on solving crimes and tracking down the culprit. Geist is also one of the 7 great robots, because while most robots look like this, Geist was built to exactly imitate a human. He can eat, converse, cry, do this, and this. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the most important part about being a human. This.
AAW. Proceed.
Also, his AI is incredibly advanced. It means he can do this, as well as solve crimes with ease. He's able to read whether others are lying, he's able to spot the smallest clues in the fraction of a second, which makes him the near-perfect detective. Most of the time, he's able to just enter a room and within seconds solve a mystery. So yeah, there's multiple reasons he's one of the 7 great robots, and by the way, all of the 7 great robots are described to have the ability to cause mass destruction. The only thing holding them back is their interest of, wanting to do anything else like a normal person. They'd rather raise a family, eat an ice cream. I mean, hell, a guy whose body is made out of weapons would rather play the piano. But just in case, every robot has an inbuilt rule that forces them to be unable to harm humans. Anyway, the day after visiting Mont Blanc's murder site and being unable to find anything important, Geist is called into another case. This time it's the murder of a human, Bernard Lanc. Looking around, nothing has been taken. It wasn't a robbery. And then Geist spots the body dead on the floor, with a horn-like structure attached to the corpse, just like Mont Blanc. But that isn't even the strangest part, because video footage had caught sight of a human fleeing the scene at the time, and yet there's not a single trace of a human presence left at the murder site. So Geist visits Brow 1589, the only robot ever able to kill. And Geist asks him whether he thinks the murder was done by a robot, and if so, how is a robot able to kill?
The humans have already examined my AI, but they could not find anything wrong. Not a single defect. All they can do is quiver in fear and lock me away in this dungeon. If they're so scared of me, they should pull out this shaft and I'd die. You only asked about Lanc, but don't forget the other. Mont Blanc, one of the most advanced robots reduced to rubble. The answer's already here. There's 6 more to go. All the robots of mass destruction. And you are one of them. You know, the god of death was often depicted with horns. Greek mythology tells of Hades, king of the underworld, and the Romans, Pluto.
Pluto? The mystery of Pluto has been said. So those who already know the author know that they're in for a treat, and those who don't know him, here he is. You're not excited by a random Japanese man? Well, I am. And this time you should be too, because this man is Naoki Urusawa. He makes some of the smaller manga such as Pineapple Army, Yawara, 20th Century Boys, Billy Bat, Mijurushi, Monster. But seriously, among Urasawa's vast experience, it's very clear to see what he's best at, because whether it be through the absolute edgefest of reading 20th Century Boys, or the slow unravel of characters in Monster, it is clear to see that Urasawa knows how to write an incredible mystery, and my goodness does he do exactly that throughout all of Pluto. Building an incredible mystery around all his characters, while at the same time setting up a whole new world, because Pluto isn't set in a world exactly like ours, like in Monster or 20th Century Boys. Here in this world, humans have incredibly advanced technology, with robots just walking around, so at the same time as he sets up mysteries, he needs to answer questions that he sets up just with his setting. Like, what are the implications of robots? Where do they work? Do they eat? Do they poop? Are they treated as humans? Do humans treat them as humans? And do humans abuse the rules put on robots? What else has been invented other than robots? What does the world look like? And to answer those, he imagines things that just don't exist, like holograms, flying cars, alcohol for robots, cities and towns that look like this. And just to flex his writing knowledge, he even invents non-physical things like concepts. The most notable one that he creates is a concept called... Now, for all those who haven't read Pluto, racism is a concept invented by Naoki Urusawa for the purposes of writing Pluto. Racism is a type of disease similar to a virus, except there's no definite way to know how it spreads, although it can be cured, it's unclear how. The symptoms are infected individuals having a hate for robots. Some can hide it and keep it to themselves, while others are too far gone, such as this fellow who can't help but show his symptoms whenever he's on screen. He even shows them towards kids. But the most shocking part about this racism is that it can infect those not in the world of Pluto. I mean, at the start of the series, I was infected by it, because to me, they're just robots, right? In every scene, I knew most of the characters were robots, so that's what I was thinking about. From watching them eat to watching them cry, I thought, why? They don't need to cry, they don't need to eat our food. Do robots even need to go to school? Do they even need children? They're just robots, right? When Mont Blanc died, the world cried for him, but why? Why were so many people crying over the loss of a robot? I mean, can't they literally just make another one? It's just a robot, right? I mean, if a robot in my life died, I don't think that I would care too much. Like, it's just a robot. No! Okay, that one doesn't count. But why should I care about these robots? North Number 2. North Number 2 was the right hand of a British captain in the war. He was created with the intentions of being the ultimate robot weapon against enemy soldiers. His entire body being designed for that exact purpose, being entirely made out of weapons. He was made to mow down thousands of enemy robots in the war, so he did. He killed tens of thousands of his own kind, but it doesn't matter to him, right? He's just a robot, right? The war ended, so what now? What happens to him after the war? What purpose does this living weapon have now? Nothing. North Number 2 is forced to find a new life, but his body doesn't change. He's still made from weapons. So he covers himself in a cloak, hiding away his body so not to scare people around him. And he finds work living as a butler for a blind man. Every day the blind man shouts at him simply because he's a robot. He complains about everything that North does. He tells North to leave and to never come back, but North refuses again and again. He continues to stay, even through the old man's shouting. And then North begins to try play the old man's piano. The old man becomes furious that a robot would even touch his precious piano, let alone think it could learn to play something original, because it's just a robot, right? Your music will be empty and soulless. Every day, he complains to North, criticizing him, but North continues to stay, continues to try play the piano, even against the old man's wishes. The old man reminds him every day that his music is fake, that a robot will never make anything of meaning, and that a robot cannot ever get good at the piano. And then North tells the old man why a weapon like him would ever even bother trying to learn the piano.
Every night I dream of the war. I want to do anything, something to stop me from going back.
Damn it, now I feel like a bloody racist. But thank God that the series made me feel like a racist, because I absolutely should, since all these characters are so damn well written. They're emotional, they're able to feel everything that a human can. Happiness, sadness, guilt, excitement, jealousy, want, grief, hatred, and the rest of the emotions. They can feel them all. They can make mistakes, even if something clearly isn't the right thing to do. Their emotions are still sometimes too powerful to hold back and cause them to act rashly. They're not written how you would expect a robot to be written. They're all written as humans because that's what they were programmed to be. Each of the robots in this world is living their own life, having their own unique experiences. And it's not just the pretty looking robots that are living a life. Every robot is. Because although a robot like this may not look the same as this one, it's still trying to make a living, to go home to its family. And even if a robot's model is too old to show it, they still have emotion. They can still grieve the loss of a loved one, even if they're unable to show it. Only able to stare blankly forward. Every robot is able to live. They're not just robots. So, if you watch this story and somehow don't connect with any of the robot stories, then maybe you're the robot yourself. My media advisor has informed me that a joke was made in poor taste and not appropriate. I would like to make an official statement here that I am all for robot rights, and I believe that they have emotions just like us. I would once again like to apologize for insinuating that robots do not have emotions. I would like to say that I am not a racist, and I despise racists. I would never find racism funny. Except with this character. You stay right there. Since Pluto was released in 2003, it's a series that made some interesting choices regarding some things. One of the choices is shown in this racist who always gets me giggling whenever he's on screen. This guy is a part of a big organization, an organization that absolutely hates robots, to the point that they want to kill them all. And that makes him a bad guy in this story. So why do I giggle whenever a bad guy shows up? Well, let's take a little dive into what I imagine went down in the office when Urusawa wrote this character. Hey, there's my guy Naoki. How's it going? Read your latest chapter? No idea where the story's going. Love it. So, did you cook up a great new chapter as usual? Yeah, this one's so good. I'm introducing an anti-robot faction along with a character related to it. Look here. My only problem is I really don't know what to name him. Ah, Naoki, my boy, let me help you out. I'm really good with names. So, where's this character from? Germany, sir. So a German man, part of an organization that wants to kill every member of a race. I've got it! Adolf Haas. Oh my god. What were they thinking? And while fully fleshing out this world, Urusawa makes sure that he doesn't take away from his masterful mysteries, because at heart that's still what Pluto is. It's a mystery story. A mystery following Geist as he attempts to solve the string of murders of humanity's greatest scientists and robots. But even if you can't solve that one yourself before he does, it's okay because Pluto presents us with so many other mysteries like, is the killer a robot or a human? How was Brow able to actually kill a human? What happened? And what are the visions that Geist keeps having? And for each of those mysteries, Pluto presents us with so many clues to help us solve the mystery before the story does. So, you can make your own theories as you're reading along Pluto as to what you think each clue means, because Pluto gives you just so many clues along the way. But even with all those clues, one thing remained a mystery to me until the end of the manga. Who the hell is this guy next to my goat Urusawa's name every chapter? Actually, let me just Google this. Tezuka. Oh, a random Japanese man. I'm already excited. Holy hell. I mean, I knew Atom was clearly inspired by Astro Boy, but never did I think that every main character is ripped from Astro Boy. And they aren't even main characters in Astro Boy. The main characters of Pluto, the main idea behind Pluto, is inspired from a tournament arc in Astro Boy. Pluto is a fanfiction of Astro Boy. It's crazy that one of my now favorite shows is derived from a single arc from something else that's so massive. So now if you want more Pluto after Pluto, I think it's clear what you should do. Rewatch Pluto because all the characters in Astro Boy look and act very different. That plus, on your second viewing, you get to look at how obvious the clues were and how they were always right there. You just never noticed them on your first watch. So I love Pluto because while I got to enjoy an incredible mystery, I watched myself grow attached to these robots, understand how people of this world feel about them. Hell, I hit both parts of the spectrum on how people feel about robots. I started off wondering why people cared about the robots. Why did they cry over the death of just a big old machine? But as I watched the story progress, as I watched a robot learn to cry, as I watched a robot learn what it means to be flawed, and as I watched robots sacrifice themselves for the hope that someone will end up happy, I was watching the story of how human these robots actually are. And with all that, I watched myself learn to cry over drawings of robots. So, before I end this video, let's ask the same question one more time. Would you cry over this robot? Still no? Oh, right, I guess you really are just heartless. I mean, this robot, it works day in, day out, and it doesn't even get... hold on, sorry. Ooh, an envelope. Oh, it's a doctor's note. Oh, whoa, now the robot has robo-cancer, all thanks to you. Yeah, I really hope you're crying now. Anyway, treat your robots nicer. I know I will. Hey, Alexa, put up the end screen. Yeah, never mind. Hey, Alexa, explode.